Welcome back everyone to Pontus Fathom Hobbies. This is season 12 of Joan of Arc and we're playing from the Apocalypse expansion. We're going to be playing a scenario called the Leviathan. So I'm just doing the fast forward here from the game unboxing to get it set up. You can see the Leviathan is a massive figure on the board. And we'll kind of do a showcase of some of the figures. A few of you guys have been asking me to do that in the setup videos. We'll get the tiles set up and go through all the different setup sets. So basically this is really across, to do this setup, you're really across three sets of Joan of Arc. So you can see we're using components from the main box set, from the Reliquary expansion set, and also from the Apocalypse set. So yeah, so getting these figures out. I've also got all my minis, as you can see on the in these cases, so I'm kind of sorting through this. I'm going to highlight the minis like I mentioned. I'll do a couple flyovers of it once I get it set up. This scenario, it has it has the massive figure, it has a number of large figures, including the Griffin, Triumph, Lamb of God. It's got the Culverin, and a huge number of forces between the forces of good and the forces of evil. So we'll get through the fast forward setup, we'll do a flyover of the minis, and we'll jump into reading through the scenario for Leviathan, and then also reading the special rules and the special mechanics for that setup. So a quick flyover of the minis here. You can see we've got angels, archangels, demon flyers, mounted Joan of Arc, Triumph, Griffin, spectral knight. So here's the Leviathan, our main boss. Got a great painting video of this guy. That you guys can go check out. We did a couple of painting videos ago. We've also got the Lamb of God here. We did these as a setup. You can see that there's kind of odd legs at the top of the Lamb of God. And I kind of did it with these like ruddy, blood kind of soaked looking legs. So sort of did it that way. Then we also have this unicorn figure that is Triumph, and this Triumph unicorn is trampling a giant serpent. So this sort of represents the triumph over like some kind of satanic adversary, something like this. And then finally the Griffin. And the Griffin will be in play here with the Archangel Raphael to help rescue the saints. And we'll get a little bit more into that gameplay as we go into that. So I'll do a quick flyover of the board. I'm thinking of doing a side camera maybe going forward. I'm gonna, once we get some more subscribers here, if everyone's interested in it, I might do a side camera where I do a camera view like this. Let me know what you guys think about that. You can leave your comment below. Would it be cool to have an in picture where I have the top view of the board and then a side view of the board so you guys can see the minis during play? I think that might more. Leave me a note below. Okay, so we fast forwarded through the setup. We did a quick tour of the miniatures on the board. Let's go through the Apocalypse scenario, the Leviathan. We'll wrap up the season 12 setup, and then we'll jump right into episode 1. So first of all, Leviathan quote here says, "The people worshipped the dragon because he had given authority to the beast, and they also worshipped the beast and asked, 'Who is like the beast? Who can wage war against it?' It opened its mouth to blaspheme God and to slander his name and his dwelling place and those who live in heaven. It was given power to wage war against God's holy people and to conquer them. And it was given authority over every tribe, people, language, and nation. All inhabitants of the earth will worship the beast and all whose names have been written in the Lamb's book of life, the Lamb who is slain from the creation of the world. If anyone is to go into captivity they will go. If anyone is to be killed with the sword, by the sword they'll be killed. This calls for the patient endurance and faithfulness on the part of God's people." Revelation 13. So it says here, the beast sends the Leviathan. We've got the Leviathan here. Massive mini of the Leviathan. The beast sends the Leviathan to destroy all the saints it was not able to corrupt. Seeking refuge on the mountain of Zion near the Lamb. Here's the Lamb. Got the Lamb on stage here. This is the mountain of Zion here with this ruin. Seeking the refuge of the mountain of Zion near the Lamb. The saints are waiting for the angels who will save them, and they're out to heaven. We'll get the angels up in the sky space, waiting. Got Angel Raphael and a number of other angels. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then let's kind of go into the cards and the other setup. So one thing to set up is we will be using the Mythic deck, and we'll take the tactics deck out for now. So let's get that one set up over here. We'll also be using the cards. It's a 7-round turn, and the victory points has to do with the number 666 in this game, and we'll go into that. So we have 7 rounds of 2, 4 3s, and 2 4s will get set, and you can see that the legend cards are M's. Let's go into the minis. Just a quick overview of the setup. Setup has got the forces unholy in these areas. We've got the holy forces with human troops in the mountains, Lamb of God on Mount Zion, and the rest of the troops like Justice and the Griffin, they're on the forest areas. We also have some lava, so this is sort of like we're getting pushed back into this lava and ruin here at the edge of the map. Let's talk about some rewards. So it says, Unholy Army can earn victory points through these methods. Saints still on the board, destroyed by the end of the 7th round, 111 victory points. So if you destroy Saints by the 7th round, you get 111 victory points. The Lamb of God destroyed, 111 victory points. Archangel Raphael destroyed, 111 victory points. And the Mount Zion Hex 10B, occupied by at least one unholy unit, 111 victory points. If the unholy player gathers 666 victory points, they win the game. If the unholy doesn't win by the end of the 7th round, the holy army wins. Okay? So there's another mechanism here. So like we said, we've got these lava areas. We've got scorched earth areas. So scorched earth and scorched earth. When a holy unit is attacked while in a scorched earth area, all blank results become disrupt results. So that's if we get pushed back. So if we have to retreat into those areas, that's going to happen. Then the mass graves. Any army from the unholy army can use the smell death action while in a mass grave area. This action lets them remove 1 wound from their unit card. So there are no rally points. It's fight to the death. All disrupted units are immediately destroyed. The civilians are all deceased saints. So there's civilians. I've got to place these on the board. So let's place them now. We've got the citizen mini. So they're just various saints. I don't know if they call out which saint is which, but the citizen will go here. The apothecary, the merchant girl will go here. The blacksmith, our blacksmith will go here in the mountains. And then apothecary, as I mentioned before, will go here. Our soothsayer will go up at the top. And our farmer. So these are just various random saints. I guess this guy is, this is a halberdier. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's get this guy here and this guy here. So these are just more of our troops in this space. And next up from this is intrigue cards can be activated using XP or intrigue tokens in this scenario. Angels, at the beginning of each of the holy armies' turn, 1 destructive angel is deployed in every area containing a saint. If there are not enough angels to deploy, no angels are deployed. And that's going to be the scenario setup. So we've got intrigue cards, angels, saints, sky tokens, fight to the death. So the saint mechanism, it says all civilians are deceased saints during this scenario. Lay them down on their back. Oh, okay, so we lay all these down. These are deceased saints. This is interesting. So they're all laying down like this. And then it says 1 saint can be carried at a time. The carrier loses 1 defense dice. A destructive angel, Archangel Raphael, or the Griffin can pick up a saint while in its area. Once the carrier moves to a sky hex, the saint is saved. Okay, so we have to basically save these saints before the end of days. One interesting thing too is we've got like a heavenly host of Joan of Arc here. So this is sort of like Joan of Arc in some kind of mythic Leviathan end of days scenario. So kind of a stretch, but yeah, we'll go with it. I think it's cool. Last up, let's take a look at the cards. I know we went through the minis in the voiceover part, but we got Plague Bearers, Voracious Demons, Heretics, Heretic, Repentant, Ghost, Flying Demons, Gargoyles, Mounted Specters, Mounted Skeletons, and the Damned and the Devourers, in addition to the Leviathan. And then for our holy player, we have got Archangel Raphael, Joan of Arc mounted, the Griffin, Triumph, the Lamb. Oh, I said it was Justice before. It's Triumph, and the Lamb of God. And then we've got Flagellants, Pavasiers, Devotees, Foot Soldiers with two-handed weapons, Destructive Angels, Penitents, Heretics, and then our Saints. And we also have the Halberdiers, and we have this Culverin kind of cannon here, which is pretty cool. So this is, maybe you can fire at that Leviathan. And that's going to do it for our setup, guys. So looking forward to jumping into this one. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in round 1. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.